Hey everybody, this is Stuart with Wine on the Dime. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I normally do. Today I am going to be doing a unboxing video, and I'm going to be doing sort of a conversational video about why I chose what I chose. So what I mean by that is I have been looking at cameras. I'm going on a trip soon, so I want to be able to take great photos. I want to take great video. I also wanted something that would probably be flexible enough for me to shoot Wine on the Dime in other locations other than my room. So I decided to invest in a DSLR camera. And I took a look at a lot of options, and I sort of narrowed it down to two choices. The first one was the Sony A6300. It's a mirrorless camera. It has a ton of great ratings on Amazon, and I've talked to some other folks who have used the camera. They just love the thing. And the other one was a Canon T7i. I know a lot of people say go with the Canon 80D, 80D. But I didn't want to spend that much. So I wanted to keep this under $1,000. Both cameras will let me, both those camera options will let me do it. If I went with the 80D, there's a ton of great features. It's probably the best, one of the best cameras out there for shooting video as well. But I didn't want to spend $1,500 to $2,000 on a camera. I wanted to max out at about $1,000. So those, so like I said, T7i, Canon T7i, and the Sony A6300 were my two options. So then I went into research mode. So I looked at them both. Sony has a ridiculously fast autofocus system. I mean, that thing is like there, and it's focused every single time. It's fast. The camera is smaller, more lightweight than the Canon because it doesn't have the mirror inside. It has the same sensors, same size on megapixels, and so that is why I took a look at that option. On the Canon side, I've used a Canon DSLR in the past. I liked the camera a lot, and it has a very good brand reputation. So those were sort of kind of why I chose those two within that range. There's also a lot of YouTubers who use Canon cameras. Now why did I go with the T7i? One is a little bit cheaper. That helps. So when I'm looking at my weighted decision matrix, that's a big nerd tool I use. But when I'm looking at that made a difference. The other thing was Sony has a really good autofocus platform, but the biggest problem I found there is long-term cost in terms of flexibility on lenses is going to be hard. So like when I was looking, I think there were only like 70 lens options for the A6300. I mean, that could have changed since I shot this video and I published it. But one of the things that I liked about the Canon was there was almost 300 lens options, including third-party lenses that were being made that also work really well with the Canon and its ability to perform autofocus. So Canon has a dual pixel autofocus in the T7i, which is what I got right here in the box. I'll do an unboxing in a minute. But it was one of those things where I was like, I like the autofocus. Autofocus is good on both of them. Better on the Sony probably in terms of speed, but I'm used to the Canon's autofocus from the previous one I've done. So and it's just gotten better. So I'm kind of happy that Canon brought some of the especially the dual pixel autofocus from the 70D and the 80D into the 7 series. Or the T7 series camera. So there's that. Another thing that I was looking at was bundles. So I was looking on Amazon, and just some of the things that I was getting with the bundle packages was better in terms of like class 10 memory cards and stuff like that. Was better with some of the Canon options than the Sony options, and they were cheaper in the end. So That's sort of why I decided to go with that. Another reason why I chose Canon was because of the screen. So the screen flips out, it's fully articulating, and it's a touch screen. So you can mess with the stuff right on the camera. The screen, if you're being lazy or you want to take a look at something, just hit the sensor and do what you need to do. The Sony doesn't have a touch screen. It has a good screen. Another thing I should talk about with the Sony real fast is it has a digital viewfinder, so you're actually going to see what you get whenever you're taking the picture, which is really cool because it's awesome crisp display in the eyepiece, but it's not necessarily, it shows me the info, but I can't do anything to manipulate it on the screen. And when I'm looking at the screen itself is not a touch screen. If it was a touch screen, that would have been, especially fully articulating touchscreen. If Sony had that, that'd make this an extremely more difficult decision. Another reason why I chose the Canon was it has a longer battery life, and there were a lot of people complaining about the Sony cameras overheating. So they would say, like, after about 15 minutes of shooting video, the cameras would get really hot, and sometimes it would just shut down. And I can't have that, especially if I might be shooting somewhere else, either with pictures or just kind of on location somewhere. I can't have that happen. It is a weather sealed body, so that's nice. The one I have is not weather sealed, so I'll have to be careful whenever I'm taking it out in poor weather. But I still ended up considering the fact that the overheating in the battery, I'd rather have better battery life and not overheat than worry about if I can take the camera out in the rain. Because at that point, I'm probably taking a GoPro if I'm really that concerned about the weather. The last point that I have, which is why I chose the Canon over the Sony, and that was the actual feel of the camera. So I actually went to a local store that had both of them there, and they had the same lens on there, the 18 to 55 millimeter lens. And I picked them up and I held them for a while and I practiced what I would do shooting, like holding them up and everything. And the Canon, in terms of my hands, just felt really good. I felt very comfortable. It's not as big as some of the other models like the 70D and the 80D. It is a smaller model, but it still felt great when I was holding it. The problem I had with the Sony was because it's mirrorless, they can make everything more compact. So the camera's smaller and I had this huge lens, and I was doing a lot of weird things when I was holding it. Like I was trying to find a way to make my hands not hit things, and it's a great camera for the fact that it's lighter and more flexible. But I wanted something I felt like I could hold comfortably for a long time, and not have that weird issue of like hitting a button or putting my. Actually, at one point I was holding it and my hand was like almost over the lens, and that's just not going to be acceptable. Anyway, that has been why I chose that camera. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick edit, flip the camera down that I'm using right now, which is my webcam, and put it down so I can unbox this and you guys can see it. Alrighty, so I have the box here. I've reoriented my camera so you can see my desk. Then I cleaned my desk. So let's go ahead and see what's inside. Like I said, this was a camera bundle that I got from Amazon. And let's see what pops up first. All right, so first thing I noticed is, all right, so I have a 12-inch flexible tripod. This is actually good. I don't know if I'm going to be using this very often. The camera might be too heavy for me to feel comfortable with this, but this might be great for me to use for my webcam or my GoPro. I have a GoPro. I've been wanting kind of a gorilla pod for a while, and by the looks of it, this is what that is. So I'm probably going to use this mostly for my GoPro, but that's still nice to get. So next thing is a memory card reader. So that's nice because my current desktop does not have one. Class 10 memory card, or is this a class 10? What is this? I thought this was class 10. Let's take a look at it. What class level are you? Yeah, this is class 10. And then I got another one. So anyway, 48 gigs. It's both class 10, 80 millibits per second, and we'll see if that ends up performing the way I need it to perform. So now, also got a zoom stop, which is interesting. I've never had one of these before. So it kind of gives you instructions on how to use it, and that might help, that might not. I plan on mostly shooting stationary, so if it's a video. Screen protector, yes, always protect your screens, that's nice. Universal, so I can protect the universe. Got a memory card wallet. Got a lens strap, that's very nice. Cleaning kit by Vivitar. Let's see here. Oh, cool. So, this is a kit that, or a series of lenses that came with it. Now, or lens filters, I should say. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit skeptical about these lens filters. I'm wondering how well they're going to work, but that'll just be something we have to try out now on it, because I've heard mixed reviews about using non-brand quality lens filters. So now I have a 58 millimeter wide angle lens. This will be very interesting too, because let's see if it says what the aperture is on here. And this is a 58 millimeter telephoto lens. So, also by Vivitar. Just kind of giving you an image of what all of that looks like. All right, cool. So, and both of those are 58 millimeter, which is what those lenses are for, or the lens filters are for. So now I got this bad boy, which I'll set aside, and then I also have the camera. So I'm gonna set that aside, throw these down. All right, before I get to the camera, let's look at what's in the bag. So this is a Vivitar camera gadget carry-all bag, according to the description. Large. So the buckles, they kind of feel nice. It's just kind of nylon. Everything is just kind of nylon. It's got sections so I can pull stuff out, rearrange what I need, what size. It's not foam. I mean, well, it is foam, but it's not like the impact foam like you would carry stuff in, which I might end up saying, hey, in the future I'm going to upgrade, get a backpack. Here's a strap for the bag. Is there anything in the side pocket? And that's nice. It kind of has a seal over the side pocket with a little bit of extra cushion. Nothing in that side pocket. Nothing in that side pocket. Anything up top? Nope, but there's a nice little carry space over there. And then I have that. So, and the bottom has little textured feet. So overall, not too shabby on the bag. We'll see how it lasts long term. And now, the part that you're most interested in. The camera. Yes. So, let's go ahead and unbox it. So, taking a look at this nice sturdy box it comes in. You have the English warranty information. We'll keep that. Then you get the user manual. Holy shit. Look at the thickness of this thing. Now, it's probably written in 3 languages. Yeah, there's Spanish, French. So, I mean, in reality, let's see. In reality, that is the user manual. That's still a pretty thick user manual. That's like 120 something pages of user manual. I'm gonna have to memorize this thing because this is just incredible. This has so much info in it. And the image, look, I mean, look at this. Hold on. Like, it even has pictures saying, like, this is what you do, this is what you press, this is exactly how the frame will look as you're trying to. That is amazing. Look at this. It's like, oh wow, it's really nice. Register your camera. Yes, I will do that. All right, so now, first thing I pull out Nice little battery. And a whole bunch of bubble wrap. This looks like the battery charger. Yeah, battery charger. Nice flip out. It's plastic. Doesn't feel cheap. Oh, I bet this. Popping this out. Just throwing stuff on the ground. Hopefully the dog doesn't come over and want his bed, because then I'm screwed. All right. So Canon lens. This feels like a nice lens. 58mm as well on. Oh, super smooth. There's no what sounds like grinding or any gear sound mechanism. That is nice. That's nice. All right, let me put this back on because I don't want to ruin that. I'll put this right here with everything else. All right, and now camera. So excuse me while I whip this out. All right, so this is the camera. Yay! Got a spot for people who have nails. Can open this. People who don't, such as myself, cannot. Got the battery input. Screw mount. And this is what I was talking about with the flip screen. So from the flip screen, or from the screen perspective, you pop it out, and it's like, okay, that's nice. And this was a major selling point to me. So then I could just say, let me flip it around, and while I'm filming something, if it's pointing at me, I can frame my shot now. That screen is pointing out at me. Now the trick is I need to make sure I don't look at the monitor. I need to look here, not here. That could be distracting. But it is nice that that is an option. And this mechanism here feels solid. I mean, this feels like a very solidly built camera. All right, so continuing, let's take a look from the side here. So from here, I have something, once again, open. You can open if you have nails. So this is the mic input. So this is nice. I can use that very well. Looks like also an option for a light remote. USB. Now, so here's the thing: is that this is one of the things I'm wondering about. Why are people still using this USB? There's USB-C. Here's USB. There's like a micro USB. So they're using the USB Mini. Now, I'm not complaining because now I have another cable. Oh, and actually didn't come with a cable. It didn't come with the mini USB. So that's another thing. I didn't get a cable for this. I'm gonna have to find one off Monoprice or something like that and buy it, because like when I go to convenience stores and stuff like that, all I'm finding is the minis, because that's what people's like Samsung phones and stuff use. It's hard, or sorry, the micros. It's hard to find the minis, but I do have an HDMI app. It looks like a micro HDMI app. So here's that. Wi-Fi indicator. You have the little kind of grips for the latches. Words escape me. The latches for the lanyard. The hot shoe has internal flash. You have your optical viewfinder, which feels really nice when you're looking through it. Your dials, on, off, camera. Like, I mean, it's pretty much, if you use the DSLR, it's pretty similar to what you normally get. Now, the memory card reader. You got here, and then it's a push to eject mechanism, which is nice. And, yeah, indicator on the front. So, I mean, overall, and then you have some things that you can manually adjust if you want to adjust here. But that's what you can also do here. You can put that on here, and it's fine. It works really well. So, yes, let me go ahead and do this while I'm thinking about it. Oh, it's an internal shot of what the mechanism looks like. And like I said, this feels... Well, let me put the lens on here. I don't want dirt to get in there. There we go. So, and like I said, when I was holding this felt really good in my hand. So like, if I'm taking a shot, this feels nice. The other one was about that thin. Oh, you can't see it from that angle. The other one was about that thin, but it was all the way across. And then you had this big ass lens sticking out from it. So, and it was a form factor that was smaller. It wasn't even this large to hold. I have a nice handle here for me to grip. If you look at the ergonomics of that. So I have this to hold it. It feels good to support. This is all texturized, which it wasn't on the Sony, if I recall. I even have a place for my thumb back here. So everything just feels really nice when I'm holding it. The camera has a decent weight, but it's not too heavy. And then I can sit there, take my picture, and everything looks good. So overall, let me see if I can prop this up somehow. Overall, that is why I chose the T7i. I'm really excited to get started with this, and hopefully in some future videos coming up, you'll get to see it. Right now I'm working through a backlog of content that I've already shot on the webcam, so I'm gonna get all those published, but you'll know when I'm using this camera in the new format. So just give it a couple of weeks, and then you'll get to see what it's like. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and post this video sooner rather than later, because I am very excited to show people I got a camera. Yay! I would say an image stabilizer, so IS lens. So anyway, this has been Stuart with Wine on the Dime. If you like today's video, please like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you guys again soon with me shooting more videos on this bad boy. Have a good one.